shy, but I'm gonna stumble over my words. It's still hard to find. I want you.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are down in beautiful Phillip Island. So finally, restrictions have been lifted in Melbourne, so we can finally go out and explore and see things. It's been a beautiful day at the beach. It was a beautiful sunny day up until about an hour ago. Unfortunately lost the sunlight, so we're hoping something comes through. But that is not why you clicked on this video. You clicked on this video because I put some clickbait thumbnail in, sort of, but I'm talking to you today about how to get better quality photos out of your drone, how to increase the megapixel count of your drone while you're flying around and create really crisp, clean photos that are safe to blow up. People probably know about this technique, but they probably don't employ it enough, and that is simply just stitching. One of the worst things about drones I find is the fact that I can't do a portrait shot. A lot of my work for me personally when I'm out doing these adventures, when I'm having fun with my girlfriend who's filming for me luckily, and helping me out with that spicy bit all at the start, one of the things that really annoys me is most of that content goes to Instagram. So when I'm taking absolute banger drone shots and amazing drone shots, I know that if I'm just shooting as it is, I'm gonna have to crop in and cut off the sides, which might ruin the image for me. So what I can do to avoid that is stitch 3 images together. Because you've got these beautiful wide lenses, 28mm I believe is the equivalent for the lens. I'm on the Mavic Pro 2. 28mm is the equivalent, nice and wide. And what I can do is bring in more of the scene and more of the environment and effectively create a 60 megapixel photo rather than a 24 megapixel photo, and create a really sharp, really beautiful image for the scene and incorporate more of the scene. So it's really, really simple, guys. What you're gonna do when you got your controller on your mobile, whatever you're gonna use, is gonna take 3 different photos. One starting at the bottom, one in the middle, and then one at the top. You can do more. I'd probably stick to 3, because after that it gets pretty intense on your computer, depending how good your rig is that you're editing on, but just 3 photos. You're gonna lock the aircraft in place, just move the angle of the gimbal, 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna stitch them together in Lightroom, and you've got yourself a 60 megapixel photo.
I don't wanna be high, but I'm gonna, 'cause I'm falling in deep. You keep calling me up. You keep calling me up. I don't wanna be high, but I'm gonna, 'cause I'm falling in deep. You keep calling me up. You keep calling me up. I've been living, taking shit day to day. You've been
Things to keep in mind, guys, really, really important. Manual focus. This is a golden rule for any sort of stitching that you're gonna be doing in any sort of environment. What you wanna do is set the focus on your primary subject, lock that focus, move to the bottom third of the frame, take that, then the middle one where your subject is, and then the top one for a little bit more atmosphere, a little bit more space. If you don't and you use the continue autofocus, what you're gonna have is the bottom in focus, the middle in focus, and the top in focus in a weird sort of way, especially if you're shooting at a really low aperture. You might not see too much in drones, but it can come out a little bit. It does make it a little bit funky, and it will confuse the software when you are trying to stitch it together, because it won't roll off nicely with your focus. Keep that in mind, guys, always locking your focus. Another one is to lock all your settings. You don't want any auto settings. So basically you want to take the exposure for your subject as per usual in photography, lock your exposure for the subject, lock your ISO, all that, and then just take all the shots. So maybe with some of the shots I've shot, the shadows have been really crushed, but the subject in the middle frame was really beautiful and really well exposed, and the top was a little bit blown out, but that's okay, because you want to focus on the subject, so don't worry about getting every single thing perfectly. So keep that in mind, guys. That's the 2 big things. Lock your focus on your subject, and then don't move it while you're moving around. Lock your exposure as well. You don't want to fuck with them, because it'll come out really wonky and it won't get the desired effect. Another thing I suggest, if you are shooting on a DJI drone, I don't know what other drones are out there, but if you're on a DJI drone, I found that if you do the panoramic mode or the stitch that doesn't manually in here, it'll take it in JPEG, not RAW. So I always suggest taking 3 separate photos, putting them together in post in Lightroom for you, stitching it together that way. So you have 3 raw images rather than 3 JPEGs. If you're editing with JPEG, if you've ever edited with JPEG, you'd know falls apart really quickly and it just looks like shit, and you can't really manipulate the image the way you want it. So unless you're really blessed and you've got a scenario where it's exactly what you want right out of the camera, it's not really gonna work for you. So that's it, guys. We're gonna play around with these drones a little bit more, have a little bit more fun, and I'll show you guys a few more examples of this, and then I'll jump into Lightroom when we get home and show you guys how to stitch these together. Cheers.
Wondering, should I've been taking my time on the come up. You're patient and waiting, it's so slow, yeah. But you know that I want you. I don't wanna be hurt, but I'm gonna, 'cause I'm falling in deep. You keep calling me.
Hey team, we're back. I didn't think it warranted me setting up a full lighting kit just to explain this because it's going to take about 30 seconds. So all you're going to do is to stitch these photos together. All you're going to do is import these photos into Lightroom, select the photos you want to stitch together, smash Control M. It's going to create a merged photo for you. When you got the three options there, I always go for the perspective. It'll keep it nice and straight, keep all your lines straight and look more natural. And then you're gonna press enter, it's gonna merge it, and then you edit away. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the little adventure. Good to be back out and about. If you have gotten this far, guys, I'd love it if you could subscribe, give us a like, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.